Oh, hey, I didn't see that. Well, actually, I did, but it's kind of, you know, it's little kind of awkward. It's been a while since we've talked, I guess. But oh, hey, now that you're here, you can help me admire this Christmas tree, which I was obviously gonna do without my phone, but I don't know how But Christmas. It's one of those times of the year. We get together with the loved ones. You gather around the tree. You go outside and you hunt for Easter eggs. That's Easter. Sorry. Favorite thing about Christmas here is what you get. It's not what you give. Is that? That's the thing. I remember hearing it from Jesus. Jesus himself told me. And what could be better than unwrapping a present and seeing in there a Nintendo 64, or about right now in this generation? I guess it would be a Wii U. Yes. Who could afford a Wii U, right? Who could? My main point is video games. It raised you better than any of your parents ever could. Well, let's be honest here. You didn't learn, what right from wrong was from your parents teaching you, oh yeah, that bully shouldn't have picked on you when you were in 3rd grade. No, you learned it from playing as Link, finding out that Ganondorf was the most evil person ever, and you were in the same position as him, and then he stole your lunch money, and you couldn't get that brownie that you really wanted to when you were 3, because you just wouldn't let you have it! He just wouldn't let you. He just wouldn't. I need a break. We need a break. Can we stop? My main point is the top 5 video games of your childhood. My childhood, of course, is going to be Nintendo. It's like those three, different relatives you had. You had your Uncle Nintendo, you had your Aunt PlayStation, and you had your Uncle Xbox, or whatever. I don't really know. But we're going to focus here, I'm going to focus here, on your Uncle Nintendo. Your Uncle Nintendo, you guys know him. He's a fun-loving one. Always taught you right from wrong, of course, right? So we cool? We cool? Okay, we're good. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get on to it.
Nintendo. From your days of the NES to your new days of the Wii U, we respect and thank you for raising us better than any of our parents ever could. Shall we begin and get this countdown started? I believe so.
Number 5.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but as a little kid who was 10 years old, the only thing that I had was a Nintendo 64, and I have to say, it was one of the most amazing systems I've ever played. But granted, I did not really play the other ones until I was like 14 and 15, but Super Smash Brothers is one of the games that, it just kind of stands out in your mind as somewhat memorable. Even the commercial, they had a commercial for this game, mind you guys, was memorable. In fact, I'll show you the commercial right now.
Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be the only one for me is you. Happy together.
Something's gone wrong in the happy-go-lucky world of Nintendo. Introducing Super Smash Brothers, where all your favorite characters go toe-to-toe in one 4-player star-studded slam fest, only on Nintendo 64.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I saw Pikachu flying through the air, I knew I had to get this game. All of my favorite characters were there. It was like the best brawl you could ever have. You could have Mario fight Link, fight Pikachu, fight Fox. All the great games, all the Nintendo classic characters were all there. It was amazing. One of the best fighters that I've ever played as a kid. Actually, the first fighter I played as a kid. And it still stands out as one of the best games that I've ever played fighting-wise. The first game I've ever gotten into fighting in general. And it's why it's on the top 5 list that I've got here. With that being said, I will never forget the day that I beat Master Hand on very hard and unlocked the Psychic Genius Nest. It's so good. Look at that screen. It's so beautiful.
Number 4.
Speaking of Mario, we get back into Mario type territory and jump right into Super Mario 64. This game is one of the most fun games that I've ever played. I guess it's kind of a platformer type adventure type game. One made by, of course, Nintendo 64. It had its own world. Every world had its own boss. Every boss had its own kind of gimmick. And, you had to beat them by the seat of your own wit. Every type of level, get the stars, and you had to fight the omega boss of it all, Bowser. Who was obviously kidnapped Princess Peach. But, we all know the story. We know the song you dance. How long has it been? 25? How old is Mario? 28? 28? He's only 28! Where do you get that mustache? I want a mustache like that. Come on now. Super Mario 64. How I love thee. If I had a poem for you, I probably would have eaten it by now. It would have tasted like a cake. Am I right, Princess? Of course I'm right. Yeah. Also, little fun fact about this, when I reached the Bowser, the first Bowser, when I was 10, I kind of always just reset the game when I reached him. Yeah, I guess I was a little bitch back then. Still a little bitch now. Shut up!
Number 3.
Well, I don't know in words how to begin to start this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just say the words that everybody wants to hear. Diddy Kong Racing was amazing. This game basically had all the kinds of racing games all you wanted wrapped into one, with a few more little twists and turns than the other ones I had. Sure, you guys might want to argue that Mario Kart is a lot better than Diddy Kong Racing, but let me go ahead and just answer your question with this. How long did it take Mario Kart to actually start flying? That's right, it took it about 12 years. That's right, 12 years. And Diddy Kong Racing was all the way hell ahead of it. This game is one of my favorite games ever. A 4-player racing game that you could race with your friends in, what is this, a car, a Hoover, I don't know what the hell that is, and a plane. You can race your friends in flying slash, like little, racing segment things. You can do barrel rolls, spin, dodge, you can shoot. They had items in this game, of course, and they were all based on, like, you can stack up. You can get 3 red balloons, 3 fire balloons, 3 whatever balloons, 3 balloons that cure cancer for a little kid. I don't know, this game was amazing back then, and I still play it to this day. This game was actually the first ever that I learned where cheats came from. And let me tell you, cheats did not break this game in any way possible. In fact, I think it made the game actually better. Having big characters, small characters, it had an adventure mode, a 2-player co-op adventure mode that you could put a code into and enjoy the game with your friend. If you wanted to play Diddy Kong Racing, your friend was over here like, man, I want to play Diddy Kong Racing with you. You could be all like, shut the hell up, man, I'm just about to do that, put in this code, and bam, playing 2-player Diddy Kong Racing adventure mode, which is amazing. You talk to the genie, and the genie's all like, hey, who wants to play on a freaking plane? And you're all like, yeah, I want to play on a freaking plane. And you want to know why? Because you were playing Diddy Kong Racing. Man, I believe this is one of the most memorable standout games that I've ever had. Every place had its own little boss area. You could fight in, like the Jurassic period, go into oceans, go into Christmas, even go into space. And you had a boss there, ready to battle you, ready to stop you from collecting all those balloons, working with the genie, and taking back the island where apparently there were tigers gone and not eating kids, which makes no sense. I don't know where they were gone. They're on an island, come on! This makes no sense. But I still played it, and I still loved it. Also, the thing about Wizpig is that, he actually never drove a car, you might have had the other bosses, like, he had, the octopus, the dragon, the fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex, who I don't know why he's still fucking alive, but everybody else is dead, and, and you had the walrus. But, Wizpig over here, he could fucking fly. He could fly, and he could run faster than you. How the fuck is he so fast? How is he so fast?
Number 2.
Now, if you guys know me, I'm kind of a nerd for The Legend of Zelda. I guess a little bit here and there. It'd be rare to ever see a girl just say, hey, I love playing Zelda. Because then at that moment, I'm just like, oh, hey, you like to play Zelda? Excuse me, I'm just going to go ahead and just take my clothes off over here. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time was the first game that I've ever gotten on the N64 that was a Zelda-type game. True, there was Majora's Mask, but then again, my mother didn't know that. And it gave me Legend of Zelda as a Christmas present. The best Christmas ever. I swear. I don't think there's anything that could top that. And entirely, I don't think there's anything that could ever top that. The game was based around the character hero Link, who I've already explained through in, Super Smash Brothers. Link is a hero of time who can obviously, travel through time and, defeat the legends of whatever. I don't remember entirely how this goes. I'm making this up as I go along. I don't have a script. Obviously, to stop Ganon from taking over, the Triforce and, sending the world into chaos, he teams up with Zelda, a young maiden who is actually going to become known as, the holder of the Triforce of Wisdom. Something, something, something else, and words that I don't really entirely know, explain basically all the game in its entirety. You use certain weapons to defeat certain areas, defeat certain bosses, get certain items, get to certain place, get to Ganon, defeat Ganon, and then the world is saved once again. This game is actually a branching point from a whole different timeline, which I don't really need to go into because, seriously, Google's a thing. But if anything has to be said about this game, it is one of my most favorite games ever to play. Also, fun side note, I did turn off the game also on this one when I reached Goma. Yeah, that happened.
And number 1.
Ah yes, the titan of them all, Banjo-Kazooie. It's pretty rare to get a game like this that... Wait, hold on, rare? Aren't those the same guys who did Hiddicon Racing? Oh, they are? Well then why am I not giving them a medal right now? They basically raised me at this point. Banjo-Kazooie was a game that basically was like an adventure type game. It was a collectathon also, but it was an adventure type collectathon. Gathered certain items to help you progress during the levels. You learn certain moves to help you progress during the game. And all of this helps you to defeat the evil witch who showed up right at the end to defeat you, hopefully sending you to your doom. Fortunately, it was the only way around for her. She didn't see that coming. Banjo-Kazooie was a game pretty sure that was made in 1998 because at that point I was like 9, 10, and I love the game. I'm pretty sure I beat it at this point. But what can be said? What can be said about this game that already hasn't been said? Well, I can try to come up with a few words. Herferslime. Herferslime. That's a word. That's a word now. That's a word. Can I confirm this? Can I confirm this? How do I confirm? Banjo-Kazooie is a driven-based story, which is amazingly done, by the way. It starts off with you having your sister kidnapped by Gruntilda the witch, and you going up into the tower to save her, which begins your epic journey. You start off going through about like 9 different levels, which are all based on like some amazing thing. Some of them even have their own different music. The music, which really drives me crazy. It's the most amazing thing you've ever heard. But don't take my word for it. Go play the game yourself. I'm pretty sure they still have a few in N64 somewhere around the place. Or you can just play it on an emulator like I have before. I have a cough. I have a cough. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm completely sorry. Alright, also, before I go, one more thing. Banjo's normal standing B. If you all know this game as well as I do, you'll notice that you've never fucking used that move ever. Ever. It does nothing. It does nothing. Nothing.
So there you have it. The top 5 Nintendo games of my childhood. Now I know what you are thinking. What about some other games? Those other games, they don't mean much. Not at all. None in the least of it. But I want to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Go ahead and leave a like on your way out. And remember, Merry Christmas to all. And to all, there better be a damn Wii U under this tree, or I swear this is going to be the worst Christmas ever. We'll see you then.